off, Linda Cardellini. Raymond Cruz. And Patricia Velasquez.
All right, you guys, Comic-Con tradition, is it anybody's first time here? Oh my God! Hold on a second. Virgins. Amazing. I feel like I've waited my whole life to do that kind of. This is awesome. All right, so let's talk about some of the weird things that happen on the sets of creepy movies such as this one. I heard a rumor, Raymond, that you had a whole thing that I would like you to share with me so I could not sleep tonight. That would be great.
When we were shooting the film, we actually had a supernatural occurrence. I was in the middle of a scene, and the monster was outside the door, and I was approaching it, and I was trying to keep her at bay. And when I put my hand forward, I was wearing a bracelet, much like this one here. And I didn't touch anything. I put my hand forward, and the bracelet blew off my hand in pieces. And I got a chill through me. And they said, cut! And Chop said, what the hell was that? And I said, oh, my bracelet broke. And we picked up the pieces. I'm not kidding you. 3 of them were broken in half. Like if you took a saw and you sawed them. Now, I took them outside, and I thought, oh, well, somehow they broke, they hit the floor, they broke. I tried to break one on the cement. I couldn't break it. I grabbed the beads and I was throwing them on the cement, and we were on a wood floor, and I could not break one. I picked up my foot, I stomped on it, I could not break it. So that was really odd. And another occurrence, we were in the middle of shooting, and it was super hot in Los Angeles in the summertime when we were shooting. And I'm not kidding you, a chill came through the house. This wasn't air conditioning. A chill came through the house.
It definitely wasn't.
There was no air. It was a low budget film. So
We had no air conditioning.
a chill came through the house, and I stopped, and I turned, and one of my friends said, "We're not alone." I really got scared.
And were you like, thank you so much, you're no longer my friend, goodbye, thank you so much? Like,
No, it freaked me out, and it was on the set of this movie. And you know, they make movies about these supernatural occurrences because they're real. This is what I tell people all the time, and I was so excited to be a part of this movie, to be able to do a horror film, you know, in this genre and with a practical monster. But they make movies about these things because out there they actually happen. So think about that.
Patricia, when you read a script like this, I'm sure that it affects you in some way, because it's like you're excited to be a part of the film, but was that ever kind of a creepy thing?
Well, hello, San Diego. I'm Latin, and I grew up in Mexico, so La Llorona lives and breathes in our culture. There are 2 things. I mean, the first is you guys, for the Latins in the house. This is something that has been done with so much respect. You are going to be so proud of it. Now, personally, I believe very much in La Llorona, and even though it's a story that we tell our children so they behave, you ask one Latin person at 60, 70 years old if they have stopped believing in La Llorona, and they will all say no, because we believe in La Llorona. So I did have one thing that happened to me that I want to talk about. We were starting to shoot. It was the middle of the night, and we live on the West Coast. I'm a little afraid of earthquakes, so I don't sleep very much at night. I'm constantly awake. But we had just started to shoot. I'm in the middle. I'm asleep. My 11-year-old is in the other room, and then all of a sudden, I heard La Llorona. I heard her. I heard her. I heard her.
Elaborate on that.
What? I heard her crying, and immediately, between the earthquake, what is this? I got out of bed so fast. I can't even remember. I hit myself with the door, and then I tripped getting to my daughter's room. I fell in my knees because I thought I had to go get my daughter. I fell, and the noise woke her up. And she goes, "Mama?" And I'm like, "Oh," I woke up, and then I just said, "Oh, I just wanted to see if you were cold." I didn't know what to say, so I cover her, and then she says, "Would you stay with me, Mama?" I said, "Okay, I'll go." I lay down with her, and the minute I lay down, I put the covers up, everything started hurting. My knees, my shoulder. I could not wait for her to go to sleep. When she finally went to sleep, I go back to my bed, and then in the bed I'm thinking, "Oh my God, this is what it's gonna be like. Now that you're gonna see me because I'm Latin and it's in me." And then I realized she was just sending me a message. She was telling me in my blood what it's like to fight for the people that you love. So the next day when I went to set, it was a whole different story. So that's my story, La Llorona. So she's out there.
And everybody's just showing up to your set with like bruises, and you've got broken feet, you're stomping on them. But like, Linda, what was your experience with the script? Like reading it?
The first time I read it, I didn't know much about La Llorona at all. Like seeing her, you recognize the imagery somehow, but I didn't know the folklore really.
Sure, it's like, yeah, crying woman, this is bad, okay.
Yeah, but the more I asked around once I read it, then I realized people were really acquainted with her, and I just sort of had not known. So the first time I read it, La Llorona aside, knowing her or not knowing her, it was terrifying because she takes children. And I don't want to spoil anything, but it's brutal. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I mean,
so
we get
that
it after
part
that.
of it, and reading that part of it, and I was, I have a child, so she was asleep. The house was really quiet. I was downstairs. It's dark, and I'm reading this by myself, and I started to actually get scared. And then you try to talk yourself out of it, like, oh, it's ridiculous. But I luckily didn't have any of those experiences, or I would have, I would have never done the movie. I'd have been too
Not
scared.
showed up on set the next day.
Yeah, now she's going to get me, though, because she thinks I don't believe.
It's like, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you
Yeah,
don't.
it's opposite of Santa. Like, now instead of just not getting presents, she's just going to come after me.
Sleep well, everybody. That's what we do here. Hashtag Scaredy. Okay, so let's go. It's a thing. So let's introduce the next clip, because there's more.